Hi everybody, I'm Amanda the G, looking beautiful in quarantine, and this is gonna be addressed right now. So I know I don't have any makeup on, and I clearly haven't done my hair, and it's kind of a huge mess. And I'm kind of a huge mess in general, but what I'm gonna do today is something that other people have done. So I'm just gonna go ahead and credit like the one person I know who does it all the time every week, which is, what's his name? James Welch. He's a YouTuber, he's like an actual makeup artist, so he does this thing and I kinda like it. So you know what? Screw it, I'm gonna do it too, but you know, the low class version because I'm not a makeup artist and I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, basically what I'm gonna do is get ready and look decent because oh my god, there's a knot in my head. I'm going to tell you ghost stories, like real ghost stories, okay? If this is a format that you like, then I would suggest going over to, I think it's actually Robert, not James. I don't remember off the top of my head. There's two of them. They are twins and they have different channels. One's skincare, one's makeup. Anyway, I will link that in the description and you should go and check that out. Every Monday he does these, and he's got an email account where he gets all of the emails of people's ghost stories and then he reads them and reacts to them. But I don't have that kind of resource. So instead, I'm gonna share ghost stories of my own life. So the first ghost story that I'm gonna start with is one that I've actually already told on this channel before, so I'm just gonna kind of do a little bit of a recap, and that's when the glass in my house just like randomly flew off a shelf. So I was just at home across the room from this, and out of nowhere, one of the glasses on my wine shelf flies completely off the shelf onto the ground, shatters everywhere. There's absolutely no reason for it. Nothing else happened, just that one thing. So that was clearly like some sort of evil presence or spirit being upset at me. And that was kind of creepy. If you want more information on that story, I'm not gonna retell the whole thing. Maybe I'll link it if I'm not being a lazy bum. Or maybe it'll be in a card, again, if I'm not being a lazy bum. So the second story is from my childhood. And kids are creepy, okay? Kids can see a lot of shit that you don't realize kids can see. This is actually from when I was a little bit older. I was in high school when this happened. So one night, I'm sleeping in my bed, and I wake up in the middle of the night, and at the foot of my bed, there is a girl standing, and she's got a long nightgown on. She's a young girl, and she has long, curly, dark hair, and I can't see her face. And she's just looking at me. And in my mind, like, I remember thinking that she wasn't dangerous. Like, she didn't seem to be, like, scary or attacking me or any sort of malicious there. It seemed like she was just there just to, like, because she was curious. But it freaked me out anyway, okay? Seeing her just like standing at the bottom of my bed. Shut up, phone. Seeing her just like at the bottom of my bed staring at me creeped me out. So I did what you should do in that situation, and I asked her to leave. And I turned down my light and went back to bed. Initially, I didn't tell anybody about it. I just went back to sleep, kind of went about my life without telling anyone, and just moved on. And then a few months later, I was having breakfast with my mother and with my brother, and my mom started a conversation and said, you know, I may be crazy and you're not gonna believe this, but then she goes into a story about what happened last night. She's like, so last night she was sleeping and she woke up in the middle of the night and she looked up, and at the foot of her bed, standing at the foot of her bed, looking at her, nothing else, was a girl, a small girl, with a white long nightgown on, with dark curly hair, and no discernible face. Mind you, this is in the same house, okay? Not the same room, but the same house. So my mother and I independently on different days saw the same ghost, and I had never told anyone that story. So it wasn't like she was trying to like pull up a story that I had said. No, I had never told that story to anyone. And my mother saw the same ghost. Proof of ghosts, right there. And I do feel the presence of ghosts around me. I have for years. That's nothing new. I really do believe it, but you may be skeptical right now, and I understand. So let me tell you the most convincing story that I have. And this one will probably make you believe it more than anything else. So if anything is, it's gonna be this one, and I just got mascara on my face, god damn it. I know how this works, okay? You have to build up the stories to the last one. I used to work in a hospital, and one of the floors that I worked on had a ghost. It was an old building, it was an old hospital, and that floor used to be for lung patients, like children that probably wouldn't live very long, okay? And it's a hospital, people die there literally every day. So by the time I was working there, this floor had mostly been repurposed because they were all private rooms, and therefore it usually ended up being people who were there with contact precautions because they had to be in a private room. But there were other people on the floor. It just kind of depended on what was happening, and I worked this floor because I wasn't afraid of this ghost story and nobody else wanted to work there. So the ghost on this floor was, as all creepy ghosts are, a child. So it was a little boy, and what he would do is he would sit in a chair in the room, and all the rooms had a chair in them. And he would come and he would sit in the chair, and he wouldn't say anything and he wouldn't do anything, but he would look directly at the person in their room. And we had a ton of patients over the years say that they saw a little boy in their room sit on a chair. So the creepy part about this kid was not that it was a child ghost and that it would come and sit down in a chair and just watch the person. It's that every single person who saw this ghost died within 1 to 2 days. None of them lived more than 48 hours after seeing this ghost. And multiple people who were close to death would see this ghost and then tell people about it. They would tell their nurse about it, they'd tell the doctor about it, they'd tell anybody who came into the room about it, about this little boy who came and sat down and he was there and they tried to talk to him and he didn't respond. Or he was just there and looked at them and they were like, oh, that's kind of weird. Why is there a little boy walking around these halls? No one else saw it. And it wasn't like they weren't gonna die anyway. Like, these were people who were going to die. That was just going to happen because they were that sick, they were probably going to die. It's not like the little ghost killed them. It's more that he was ushering them into death. Like, welcoming them once they were dead. The thing is, nobody wanted to work on this floor, and I raised my hand to work on that floor because you know what that means? If you don't see the ghost, you're not gonna die. If you see that ghost, all that means is that you have no more than 2 days to live. So, you know, maybe use your time appropriately, but you're not just gonna see the ghost otherwise. And people were like terrified that they were gonna see this ghost. Only if you're gonna die. So anyway, those are my ghost stories for today. This is me as ready as I'm going to be. If you like this, let me know. Maybe I'll do another one of these, but just tell me. I mean, we're in quarantine. It's really difficult to come up with ideas and be creative right now, honestly. Stay fresh, cheese bags. Also, this is completely unrelated, but I definitely have paint on me, and you'll see a whole video as to why and all the stuff I've been doing, but I am most definitely covered in paint.